HTTP protocol is a widely used protocol in the internet. This protocol is not only used to exchange data between the web, but also it is used for many other data exchanges from your phone to server and server to phone, from your thick client applications like any other applications that are installed in your machine like PDF readers, Photoshops, etc. All these will use some HTTP protocols to communicate with the server. Whenever there is an update, they get the data using this HTTP protocol, and in a similar way, it is used for the IoT devices as well to communicate or exchange data between the IoT device and the server. So it is very important for a developer to understand the basic components of HTTP protocol. The HTTP protocol uses TCP protocol in transport layer to send data over the network, and a HTTP protocol holds the following elements. Whenever we make a request, a few headers are made and sent to the server. So these headers contains a verb, and here it is get, and we have post, put, delete, etc. And this is the resource that we are requesting for. For example, if I want to visit a website and see all about the website, I will just go to about.html. So that is the resource here, and here this is all the actual resource that you see here. All this soon after the domain name, whatever you see here is the resource that we are requesting, and this is the version that this browser is using, and these are headers that carry some information about the browser. So here this accept tells that the web browser will accept text and HTML. And in previous video we have observed that encoding type headers are also being sent by our browser, just to let the server know that these kind of encoding techniques are accepted by the browser. Okay, and this is the response from the server, and the response contains the version and the status and some content types, headers, and any kind of other headers, and the body. So this body is the actual one that our browser required, and by rendering this body, we see the page. Okay, these are few of the HTTP verbs, and get is used to fetch some resources, put is used to update the existing resources, delete is used to delete the resources, and post is used to upload or update, modify any other information on the server, etc. The each method has different behavior on the server, so one should know how to handle this in order to provide a secure transaction and to maintain the security of the website. Let's see an example of this. I'm navigating to testphp.monoweb.com, and here at the search bar I'm just trying for searching something, and soon after I hit enter, you can see the URL has changed and it contains the request that I made. So okay, let's see for an example. Look at the website here. When I'm navigating to search bar here, you can see the URL has changed, and this is made using the get request get method. So when I refresh this, you can see a get request is being sent, and this is a get request, and in the request headers you can see get and the resource that we requested for. Okay, so whenever I try to make some search, I'm just giving some random search and search, and you can see that the data that I entered is requested, and it is through the get request, and you can see that request in the URL here. This is a get request, and here you can see it. So this is the search.asp, and this ts search is the parameter, and this is the value that we just entered here. I change this to some other random text, and you can see this parameter is kept constant, but the value here has got changed. This is because this particular resource page will accept this particular parameters and just takes the value from that parameter and then renders some data for that particular search, and gives back the response. And you can see that you searched for this, and whatever I type here, that gets reflected. Okay, in a similar way, if I try for login, and let me go with my username, here it is admin. Okay, before that I have to register. Let me register, and username test, and test, some test at the rate test.com, and test. Okay, that got registered. And if I go to login and just test and test, and when you see that the request has submitted successfully and I am now logged in as test user. Okay, see here it is asking me to log out test. So but you don't see that request is in the URL just because it uses a post method instead of get method. So I'm just logging out and trying to show you again. So just log in, test, and see this is a post request that is made. And if you see here, this is the request and this is the post request, and we don't have any test here. You can see my username and password is not available here. Okay, when I go to the request, you can see this is the data that is added into the body. So as we have discussed, that is here somewhere else here. After these headers, it will be added, and then this request will be sent to the server. What if this is requested with get? So let us see that. I'm just logging out, login again, and just I am modifying the, so this is the form, and you can see the method is post. So let me change it to get. So I'm just navigating to network tab and test and test. So when I hit enter, you can see my password is just shown in the URL. So a get request is made to the server, and in that get method or get request, directly in the URL itself, the data is disclosed and the request body contains nothing. So what happens in this case here is, if I navigate to some history, and you can see in the history there are some requests and you can see the password here. So these are my usernames and passwords that are logged in the history. So for this reason, we should not use get requests for sending sensitive information to the server. Instead, we have to use post method or post requests. So in that case, the sensitive information like username and passwords will be hidden in the body, so an attacker or someone cannot see this password directly. Okay, that's all for this video, and we'll be discussing more about this HTTP in the upcoming videos. Thank you.